Hello, hello, my green skins. And this is another Orc War Chief review. And so, what are we doing today, Dark?
Big Trouble in Little China.
A Kurt Russell classic. Another actor I hate to say really should have had more roles in his career. And I think is woefully underestimated as a good actor. And
Well,
so, what did
this.
you. Okay, go ahead.
Well, you
What?
were gonna ask what I think about it. Well, you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't think this movie does him any favors.
Oh, fucking, this movie's amazing. This movie is amazing. So, we're going to have an interesting review today. So, first of all, let's break it down. What did you think of the music?
Um, Generic. Uh, I don't remember anything amazing from the
Well, it's a John
playlist.
Carpenter movie. So, yeah, there is that. There is a little bit, but there's not lots.
Yeah.
And me loving John Carpenter and all his work because there's not a single movie I haven't liked of his. Um, what did you think? The music's kind of okay. There were some moments that were actually kind of good. Like they had that bump 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 bump, doom 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 doom. That whole doom doom that type of thing was going on. What did you think of the acting? Now here where we're gonna get interesting because apparently you didn't
Oh.
like the acting.
Oh, the acting is all over the place. I mean, Kurt Russell wasn't the worst. He did have his odd moments, but oh, the girl and well, both of them actually had some really weird, some poor dialogue, but they also had some cringy. They have some cringy dialogue to work with. I mean, there's a scene where she walks into the building and in a place where the guys already know her. I mean, Kurt Russell being the outsider, but again, this is a place that she frequents. Everyone who knows who she is, and she says, "Guys, it's me, Gracie Law." Well, who introduces him? Who says
Well,
that?
yeah, you two people.
No, no, like no, not. She wasn't talking to him. She was talking to the guys because they all
I
pointed a
know she's
gun.
talking to the guys that know her. It's me, Crazy Law. I know. There's some really bad. There's some okay. I'll say it. It's not the acting that's bad in this. There's some really weird fucking script work.
Exactly. Like there's a scene where they were talking
Yeah,
about the bad guy and the reporter lady. She's like, "What? You saw this guy? The guy who's actually the head of this thing and was actually part of the thing who did
yeah,
this?"
yeah, 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 yeah. There's some really nasty screen work. There is. What is it called now when they do that? When they actually like explain
Exposition.
it's commonly seen. Yeah, yeah. They exposition. They do exposition dump quite a lot. Anime is notorious for that. Actually, anime is the worst for that. And some of the more funnier scenes where the guy's like, my power level, blah blah blah, and I fought blah blah blah, and it goes on and on and on and on. You're thinking to yourself, Jesus fuck, shut the fuck up and fight.
Why do you think I can't watch shows like One Piece and my what's that, not My Hero? What's that show called? Oh, those
Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball
no,
Z
I
is
can watch.
notorious for that.
Dragon Ball Z makes up for a lot of things.
No, no, Dragon Ball Z doesn't make up for shit, and it took fucking four episodes to get to a fight. Oh my god! But this movie's notorious for doing that, and I do like the funny thing about it is the only one that actually does it right, does this good explanation scene is Kurt Russell when he keeps on saying Jack Burt like his catchphrase, old Jack things, old Jack this, and everyone's like, who? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Me, asshole.
Yeah, me,
Because he made
this
it sound
guy.
like because he made it sound like he was quoting someone.
Oh, he is quoting someone himself.
Yeah, he's a smug
Fucking,
asshole, and that's cool. I mean,
he
his
is.
character
He's
was
a
awesome.
douchebag. He is. That's actually the one of the main reasons this movie's amazing is him. Like, there's other things that are amazing. Like, there's a lot of good actors and a lot of good Asian actors in this movie. Um, but he is epic. He is fucking epic. And then again, there are some actor. actors and actresses in this. There's also some of the stuff I like the fact that some of the other fun stuff with this is just kind of amusing. Like one of my favorite moments is when he knocks his ass out in the like first 5 seconds. You know what this also reminds me of? A D&D campaign. This reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons on a lot of ways. And it just kind of this is kind of why I enjoy it. The acting was hit and miss. There are some really good Asian actors in this movie though, and probably some of the better ones out there. Next, let's break down the I guess the scene work. We'll start with what did you think of the scene work and the CG type stuff going on with this?
Um, well, unfortunately, CG in those days was not very good. They had frame rate issues. They were jerky and all that. But thank God
It
it
was
was
pretty
minimal.
good. Yeah, it had great visual effects, and I honestly think some of the fight scenes were really well done. And again, this is another movie with again another fucking 80s movie with better scene work and better stuff. Sometimes a giant puppet is better than anything else. And that's like I said, this is why I'm saying the acting, especially Kurt Russell's acting, is fucking great. When that giant monster grabs a guy, pulls him into a fucking hole, and Buddy throws a fucking rock at it and it explodes. He goes, "That monster won't be coming." And again, "What fucking monster? What monster? What monster?" He starts screaming, "What monster?" Because he's like, "What the fuck?" And that's what kind of made this movie kind of fun. Like some of the lightning guy was kind of cool. Some of the combat stuff was kind of cool. You had these really interesting characters. I did like the fact that you know, that each character, including the lightning guy and some of the other ones, they actually walk around wearing suits and shit for most of the time. They don't wear their like Mortal Kombat Raiden look.
Oh
The three
yeah,
wins.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat at times.
Oh, this is where Raiden came from. This movie is legit where Raiden came from. It's confirmed, like legit confirmed. The lightning guy is right. That legit is him. Although
Okay.
it's kind of funny how the four winds went down like bitches in the end. There's some amazing scene work. There's some really, really, really good scene work, and there's some really good visual effects. Yeah, some of the CG stuff was a little crappy, but the visual effects were good. You could kind of see when there's a screen work. Overall beautiful, like very good for its time. And I keep saying it. Why the fuck is it to this day the scene work is better? Like the visual effects are better than some of the CG we see. Like Harry Potter's a great example. If you want to see shitty CG, fucking Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie. Oh my god, that's awful CG.
I have not seen the Harry
That's like
Potter movie, so I cannot comment on the CG.
oh. Now you do know that you said this. We're gonna have to do Harry Potter one of these days.
Oh come on! I don't care for Harry Potter.
Who cares about Potter?
Who cares
You
about the
can't you
Potter?
can't have your pudding if you haven't eaten your meat. Sorry, I went the walls there for a second. So what did you think of the story as a whole?
Um, uh, I guess it's okay on paper, but I think this movie suffers from an identity crisis. It's like, wait, does it want to be a mystical magic movie? Does it want to be a martial arts movie? Does it want to be an action movie? And I don't think it does a good job at blending all of them together like Cobra did with action and slasher.
You know what? I disagree with you almost completely. This is an adventure movie. This is there actually is a genre. It is called adventure, and that's
Okay,
what this
okay,
is.
I meant to say adventure.
Yeah. This is a pure adventure movie, and that's kind of how this plays. It
Oh,
plays as an adventure movie.
oh come on,
I'm not a big
you've got the tough muscle guy with the machine gun and the damsel in distress. That's an action movie.
that's not that's adventure too. Like Indiana Jones does it, and I would honestly say it's not an action movie. I would say Indiana Jones is an adventure movie. You spend half, like some of these scenes in Indiana Jones are amazing, and some of the effects and visual themes are still to this day the best out there.
I don't know. I guess it
But I
depends on the
would say,
feel, but I feel like I felt like at times it was trying to be an action movie and an adventure movie and a um, martial arts movie all at the same time. The two
No,
of
I
those could work
think it's
together.
I think it was if you break it apart like that, yeah, it doesn't work. But if you look at it from the perspective that it's a adventure movie, because that's what it is, it's a different story. It's also a fish out of water story. You actually do take then most of this is done by Jack Burton. And a lot of them do these big exposition dumps. That's that I will admit that's its biggest movie. The biggest movie flaw is its exposition dumps. It has insane amount of expedition dumps. And it's like, well, this guy's blah 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 blah. One of my favorite exposition jumps is the Chinese thing. When the two guys are talking about China, and he's like, we just, us Chinese just steal a little bit from everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. Just kind of this fun exposition. They're sitting there having dinner, just talking about it, and it sounds so expositiony. It's kind of funny. A friend of mine likes to call this movie exposition dump the movie because that's the reason he hates the movie. It's because it's just way too much explaining. But the problem is that's the point of the movie. It's very isekai in a way, where you're kind of like a very fish out of water. You're in another world. Like he doesn't realize how much this world is burning in, like all the shit that's happening. And we get to see from the perspective of Jack Burton what he thinks this is, and he doesn't know what the fuck to think. He's like, "What the fuck's going on?" Half the time he's yelling and screaming, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" But he's not actually saying "what the fuck," but he's actually like, "What's going on? I don't get this." How did you? And one other question, something that's bothered a lot of my friends. How did you like that end? How did you like how he killed the end boss, the big bad at the end? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought I missed something. It's like, wait, how? Wait, you throw the knife, you miss. The guy throws it back, and you catch it by the handle and throw it again. And this time it hits him. Like is this part
It's
of the power?
reflexes. That's
Is this
that's
part of the
how
power from the
that's
potion he drank? It's like, what's going on?
no, you know what that was? You remember the beginning scene with the bottle where he just catches the bottle every fucking time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's reflexes. It just shows that he's like has this unnatural reflexes. Out of nowhere, he can just have this really really good reflexes.
Well, give me credit.
Um,
Give me credit for not calling bullshit on it. At least I kept an open mind that there might have been something I missed or forgot.
no, I do like that you called bull. I would have found it funny if you called it bullshit. A lot of people don't like how this movie ends. And a spoiler alert for those. Fuck it. If you haven't seen this movie by now, and you want a rough review of this and you think that we spoiled it for you, it's like, really, it's like been around forever. I usually suggest that people watch this to get a rough vibe of what they like, and then kind of like kind of review, kind of hear how we feel, how these two scrubs feel about it. These two YouTubers. Overall, what did you think of the movie?
It's not a movie I'd be keen on rewatching. Not something not what not the best thing I've seen, not the worst thing either, but yeah. Sorry, I gotta give this like a 3 or 4. It's just
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I just could not enjoy
Holy
it.
shit.
Cause oh yeah, there's another thing we forgot to mention: the fight scenes, how hokey they were at times. And I'm not talking about when it gets into adventure territory. I'm talking about when they're doing pure martial arts. It's like, why do they have to
Well,
have these
that's the
close-ups and
point.
like,
That was kind of the point of it. That was kind of how they were doing it. It was kind of this weird idea. Kurt Russell apparently was told to act like John Wayne. That's what he was. That's apparently was. I remember hearing about it.
oh no, I'm thinking specifically about Wang's fight scenes, like how he and this guy are doing flips all over the place. I'm like, okay, I know they're trying to be fancy, but come on, that nobody does that in real life, or
But that's
even in
the
fiction.
point.
It looks
That's
dumb.
action. That's where we go straight into action. That's where we go
No,
straight into
no,
adventure.
he's like doing somersaults towards the guy before they start fighting. This is like what? And then
Yeah,
when and here's another thing I
that's
don't.
the
This is
point.
even worse. There's these. There's a scene where they're like flying in the air, and I mean like literally flying. It's like what the hell? Do they can they
The
fly
potions.
now?
Yeah, potions. Yeah, the potions they took. It was like a fucking super serum. That's pretty much what it was. It was like they turned into they became magical. That was the point.
Well, that's the problem. It could not. draw the distinction. Like it did not blend well the fantasy and the real life. Like one minute you're watching a realistically choreographed thing, then you're watching fantasy like in the very next shot. It's like it's like so off putting. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Disorienting. Like it keeps cutting back and forth, back and forth.
Wow, I disagree, and I would give this movie a. I'm honestly going to give this movie a legit. You're going to give it a low, that low. I'm going to say it's about a 6.9, close to a 7. And wow, we're leagues apart here.
Plus, there were no boobies.
Well, yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad thing or good thing. You know, it was an adventure movie, and it was a good adventure
It would have helped the movie.
movie. Maybe, yeah, debatable on that one. But I will say I'm very surprised. I'm not too surprised that you didn't like this one. This is one that I honestly believe a lot of people. I hear a lot of people talk about it, and it's like it is one of those movies where you're just like, yeah, it's a cult classic for a reason, and cult movies are notorious for being either good or like you know they get that because they weren't originally as good as they were. Like I like this movie, and I'm standing by my 6. I'm standing by my 6.9. What do you're standing at a 3? You said
Yeah,
okay. That's your call, man. I wow, we're leagues apart.
it's not the first time.
Not the first time. Oh yeah, I know. This is why we'll never do Gundam reviews.
Yeah,
We are miles apart.
in a way, are we miles even further apart when it comes to Transformers?
No, no, I think we're on the same footage of Transformers. Like I like Gen 1. I
No,
liked
you
I
only like
liked
Gen
Beast.
1.
No, well, no, I like Beast Wars. I'm just not a fan of the CG for Beast Wars.
Oh,
That's kind of what it took me out. It took me out of it. That's the only issue with Beast Wars. So yeah, no, we could go on about those in later reviews, but I'm not a fan of like, hey, we both agree. Transformers Fallen Kingdom or Kingdom is awful.
I think that entire Netflix show was awful.
First season wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either.
Hey, are we reviewing Transformers War for Cybertron or Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, that's our thoughts on Big Trouble in Little China and us going off on a Transformer tangent.
Leftovers from the last Transformers videos we did.
Yeah, leftovers from the last. Yeah, and us complaining about '90s movies. We do have to do an editorial about how we hate the newer action movies that came out, some of the newer ones. Because like I'd love to do that. We got to do that one of these days. All
Yeah.
right, so that is our review. Halloween is coming up, and we're going to be doing Ninja Month. I know everyone's like, oh, we're not going to do horror movies. It's like, no, 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 no. What? Like, okay, why are we going to ignore ninjas? Like, I'm sorry, but I always see a kid ninja in a ninja outfit. You at least once or twice, you're going to see a ninja kid.
Mm.
It's just, and so I think ninjas deserve their love, and we're going to be doing American Ninja, and then we're probably, if debating on how far we get, we might do some other ninja stuff. It's just a matter of how far do we really want to take this. And American Ninja is a long series actually, and it gets fucking hysterical later. Later, oh god, I can't wait to see what he's never seen American Ninjas. I can't wait to see how he feels about American Ninja, especially the later movies. Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, guys, you guys have yourselves a very, very good day. Remember to like, share, subscribe. We need those subscriptions so we can get some better content out. Like right now, it's not worth doing like insane content until we get more them YouTube bucks. We got to
Money.
grift a little bit.
Come on.
Money.
I need a
We need
PlayStation 5,
money.
people. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a Switch. We need our monies. We need to share a little bit. All right, guys, have a very, very good day. And we will see you in the next review for Halloween.